Back again with Vicki Gatling.
Yes, we are.
And get to talk to Vicki a little bit about her this time. We got to hear her music a few minutes ago, which is phenomenal. But she's phenomenal, too.
Absolutely.
I've known this lady probably 10 or 15 years now. And
Or at least.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about, where were you born and raised?
Born and raised in Waxahachie, Texas.
In Waxahachie?
Right here, yeah.
And you've been out in the Rocket area for a long time,
yeah,
right?
since about 1992. We moved out to Rocket and bought 35 acres and built a house. And we've been in Rocket ever since.
I love Rocket.
Yes,
I always told Randy if I could find a nice little house in Rocket, I'd buy it. But there's never anything that goes up for sale there.
Right. Right, everybody stays.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
right.
neat. It's one of those things where you go to Waxahachie and you get so buzzed from all the traffic and all the people, and then you come back out here and you can just and relax.
Yeah.
That's
Deal
what
with 2 or 3 streets, but
what
it's,
I
you
love.
know, I love it too.
I do
Yeah,
too.
Helen and I even got married out there, as you know.
Yes.
So yeah, we were very
Yes.
fond of it.
Yeah.
You said that you grew up in Waxahachie. You grew up musically in a lot of the what we would call them, the opries and things, because you've been playing those as long as I've known you.
Yes. Yeah.
And is that where you really started musically?
Yeah, I guess so. Just really having a venue to go out and sing. I always wanted to do music, and when I was 12 years old, I decided that I wanted to learn how to play the guitar so I could play in Elvis Presley's band.
Yes.
Well, and you have a lot of his mannerisms.
Thank you. And I was so crazy about him that it was a real impetus for me to get started in music. My mother just kind of shook her head and said, "Okay, find somebody to give you lessons." So I started taking lessons, but you know, here and there, little shows at school or something is about all I did.
You were telling me that your mama got you a Silvertone
Yes.
guitar, which I think was all of our first guitars.
Yeah,
that we ever had,
the old F-hold guitars,
Oh, yeah,
and it sounded terrible, but that's what I learned to play on. And then my guitar teacher, this was in a music store in Waxahachie, he took my mother aside and said, "Okay, now, time to get her a good one."
Oh, good.
So Fred Hayes was my teacher, and he's still living. He's down in Corsicana. I speak with him occasionally, and I tell him he's all about my music. Everything I do right now, I attribute to him and to my mother and dad being willing to put the money out for me to have the lessons.
Yeah.
But then I started doing the Opries, and for those of you who don't know, an Opry is just a little country show with a house band. You go and you get to do a couple of songs with a good band, and they're lots of fun. But unfortunately, the COVID crisis stopped a lot of them.
And very often too, there are places where you do country classics.
Very much so.
And I assume that's kind of what you started on, wasn't
Right.
it? It's country and blues.
Patsy Cline,
See, I always
Jim
thought
Reeves.
Patsy to me was as bluesy as she was country.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's you. You know, I find
Right.
if I were gonna, if I could record you the way I'd want you to record, I'd put you with the blues band.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what I'd do.
I'd go with that, yeah.
You know, because I mean, you have such a natural just feel. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a grit in you that understands the blues from the especially from the intellectual level.
Blues speaks to me.
Yeah, it does. It shows.
I love country. It tells a story. And as a songwriter, you always want to tell a story and have people understand it, you know. But the blues, it gets down there, you know, where you live, you know.
Right.
I love blues.
Now, do you have siblings?
I do. I have 3 brothers,
Okay.
and they all live in the general area here.
Are they musical?
No. Not
Really?
not a single one of them, no.
Isn't that something?
My oldest brother, he always does the guilt thing and says, "Well, I wanted to learn to play the steel guitar, but nobody would give him lessons." But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, he has no
he
excuse
forgave me.
now.
Yeah, but no, nobody else in my family at all that I know of ever got into music.
I bet they're also proud of you.
I don't know about that.
I can't imagine.
I
I
would
can't
be.
imagine them not being.
They have attended some of my shows and things like that, and I appreciate that. they're busy, so I'm okay with that.
Now you've done a lot of the Opries, but you've also ventured out. I know a guy that got you doing singer-songwriter shows a few years back, and
Right.
he got you out pushing those around, and you really you can fit beautifully in that community.
Thank you.
Because you've got great songs, and you deliver them so. I mean, just perfectly.
I appreciate
when
that.
you make a mistake, nobody even knows.
Made a
Unless
lot
you
of
go,
them.
I made a mistake.
Yeah, you really. I was listening to you just walking out of the cubby a while ago while you were playing, and into the kitchen, and just listening to you in there, just standing there, listening to your tone. It's incredible.
Thank you.
I mean,
It's a
and
God-given gift,
Yeah.
for sure.
I never want to blow my own horn or anything like that. I just, I think God gave me something that He wanted me to have, and now that I'm playing in church with it, I believe
and
I'm
let's
where
talk
He
about
wants
that
me to
too, 'cause
be.
that's where I was leading to next. Tell us about your affiliation with the Cowboy Church and what you're doing.
About 4 years ago, we decided to just go over there and visit because we know Nick Hunt, and he's the band leader over there. And so we got there, and it's the most loving, accepting, welcoming church. And the minute we were there, I felt at home. So Nick and I talked, and he said, come up and do a song some Sunday. And after that, I was, I'm privileged to be able to be in that band and play there every Sunday. And it, like I said, I believe this is where God wants me to be. And I believe that any abilities that I have, He gave me. And I'm supposed to be using it.
Yes, yeah. If you're not using them, you'll lose them.
All right,
That's the way
use
it
it or
works.
lose it. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you're certainly using it. I mean, when I was talking to you a few weeks ago, and you were doing the normal. Y'all have to know Vicki, guys, but she's going to disclaim herself. I mean, she's so removed from the amount of talent she has. And she was giving me all this. Well, I don't know if I'm this, that, and the other. And I'm, Vicki, come on, you got to come out.
Randy doesn't take no for an answer.
No, and I'm glad. I'm glad about that.
And then I come and hear you tonight, and it's like, come on, don't do that, don't do that. You're way too good to ever not think. You need to know you're good in a good way. I don't mean my mother always said there's a very little difference between conceit and convincing, but everybody can tell the difference.
Right.
Yeah, you have that wonderful convincing quality, and I can't imagine you ever coming across as conceited in any way. It's just not you.
Would not ever hope to be. We have a saying that we say, he's not conceited, he's just convinced.
And that's okay.
Yeah,
That's
some
okay.
people are.
And you're still continuing to write, correct?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not, as prolific as I used to be. But as I said, I retired 4 years ago. I think that was right 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've gotten lazy. So this is a great, you're prodding me to get out there and do something again and write again. And so I feel inspired.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try.
Well, you, out of anybody I know, don't need to stop doing this.
No, for us too, because
Yeah.
as you said, God gave you a gift. The gift is to share.
Yes.
In the same sense that He gave your preacher the voice to preach.
Yes.
Well, you're doing the same thing when you sing.
Thank you. Well, I want to...
The Bible says, that David sang and danced before the Lord.
Yeah. I want to give back, I've been really fortunate. We are extremely blessed. And, everybody should thank the Lord for the blessings that they have. And being able to sing at the church and play with these guys that I play with, and they're all like my brothers themselves, And that's, and giving me that ability to give back it's important to
What's
me.
your favorite all-time gospel song to sing?
I do love Just a Closer Walk with Thee, Patsy Cline's version, of course.
Yeah.
And, that's one of my favorites. Absolutely.
I need to hear you sing that.
I was just thinking I could hear. I could hear
Come
it.
to the church.
That's right.
Peace in the Valley, though. Elvis Presley's Peace in the Valley. I have lots of favorite gospel tunes, and we do a lot of them all the time there at the church. We do some. They allow me to do my original gospel songs there, and
Well, they should.
we hit all the classics, and we also touch upon the new stuff. I don't even know what to call the new gospel stuff, but it's awesome.
Worship, a lot of it's just kind of worship music.
Worship
Yeah.
music, yeah. But great stories, and they tell wonderful stories about faith. So,
I am enjoying seeing the church really during the COVID period. I see the churches of America are going to get stronger, although it's hurt their attendance. It's the attendance. Anybody that's lost because of COVID was lost before COVID, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's
And-
hurt our numbers just in the simple fact people got a little bit afraid to be in large groups.
Yeah.
And but we're seeing it come back now and get
We've
better
seen
and
it
better.
in this room where we just
Yeah.
fill up almost every show and they
Right.
just fill up.
It's awesome.
And,
you do a great thing here.
Well, it's
giving us a
it's for
chance.
you guys. It's why we do this.
And I hate to say it, but I think that we are quite
we're-
awesome beneficiaries
Oh, yeah.
of all of this because we get to do this in our home and have, wonderful people come in, and we make so many new friends. And
Absolutely.
It's
And how
just
many
blessing.
thousands of songwriters have you?
It's a few
met?
thousand.
Yeah.
We've done well. This radio show wise, just radio show. This is our 353rd, I think,
Is that right?
of the radio show series.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of those have had 5 people in them. Where we have a whole band of
That'd
songwriters
be
together.
cool,
I
too.
do like to hang out with bands of songwriters. we've done that
Me
over
too.
the years.
Yeah.
It's funny how sitting here with you to me, and I'm sure to Helen too, is so comfortable because you're one of those people that were around right when we really kind of started honing in on what we were doing within the music room, and
Yeah.
and you popped up on our radar, and you just so fit in. I'm talking with Ian Dixon and Craig St. Clair and a lot of the early Paul Johnson, Wanda,
Vicki
Williams.
Scott Fant.
Scott
Scott,
Fant, yeah. I mean, just so many.
Great songwriters.
And we've
have
had a
been
lot
through here.
really come out of Ellis County. And the one thing we've always tried to do is make sure we're doing shows with people from this county as well as from Europe and around the country.
Right.
But we've had people here from 41 states and 14 countries
Wow.
and never advertised.
Wow. And they appreciated everything that you did for them, I'm sure.
Well, again, God did it.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
I give him all the credit. All we're doing is just doing what he tells us to day by day,
Absolutely.
so,
I agree.
or trying to.
Yeah. Well, we so
That's all we
look
can do.
forward to what the future's going to hold for you and the music, and
I
guess-
wanted a lot of it to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm good with
Get
that.
that CD
Good
going
with
for
that.
her.
Yeah,
and-
John and I have been talking about doing a CD for you, and so
Yep.
that seems like that's coming, and we'll talk more about that.
So y'all need to stay tuned so you can find
Yeah, you
out
do.
how to get this CD.
Ooh, that would
And
be
speaking
nice.
of how do people get a hold of you if they want to purchase your music or hire you or anything like that?
I don't have a website, but my email address, they could contact me through my email at gvicki.
That's VICKI.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
gvicki15 at gmail.com.
And I'll put that.
Okay.
I'll print that on the
Yeah.
video here that
Okay.
we're going to
Yeah.
do from this.
G-
Also, if you can't find her any other way, call me and I'll put you in touch with
Look
her.
it in the music room.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
there.
And-
yeah.
InTheMusicRoom.com has a
YouTube,
lot of
In
her
the
stuff
Music
in the
Room.
music room on
Yep.
YouTube and Facebook.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate
You can
that.
probably find this
more
lady
than I can
around
tell
there.
y'all. I do appreciate that.
Vicki, thanks again.
Yeah.
Thank
we,
you.
We're keeping in touch, and we'll be seeing you soon.
All right.
And thanks everybody for tuning in. Keep on listening. You are in the music room.